Okay, guys, okay. Wow, it's more difficult than I thought. I have to tell you something today. We are in a new episode. We are on the road to the 10th episode. And I think I have to share something with you, which is very personal. If I would be a big YouTuber and a big influencer, that would maybe cause some drama in the drama community. I've never talked about this on this channel before, but I think before we hit the 10th episode, I should talk about it. And I think we are here on YouTube on a platform inside of a community where we can share private things or things that are bothering us or are not maybe the norm or something that is scaring us. Maybe you're sitting at home and you're thinking, oh my God, what is he talking about? And yeah, maybe it's not a big deal for you, but it is a big deal for me, even though that I am a grown-ass man. But I want to take my platform, my channel, to share with you something very private that is bothering me. And I hope this is okay for you. I don't want to bring anybody's mood down with it. That's harder than I thought, because usually you know me as a very person. And well, just let's get over with it. I wear glasses. Yeah, that's all. I wear glasses. No? Okay, I wear glasses because I need them today for this video. Cue the intro. And we are back, and I'm sitting in a little bit in a different position today because I had the feeling I had to make a reaction video. Yes, now I'm a reactor. Oh, boo-hoo, on the real Crochetter. Because I was diving into the black hole of YouTube, maybe you know what I mean, always clicking on the sideline from one video to another. And then I was stumbling about a video called 25 Crochet Hacks for Beginners, Pro Tip from a Crochetter with 20+ years experience. And I was very curious about what is this video about, and I had to look at it. And I thought, I don't watch the whole thing, just watch the beginning, because the title was catchy enough for me, so that I thought I share this reaction with you, so that we all can hear 25 crochet tips from someone, a pro crochetter with 20 years plus of experience. As if 20 years plus has ever meant anything. I think you get what I mean. So I have my phone here and I start the video for this reaction now, and then we talk about it.
Welcome to my studio. I've been crocheting for over 20 years and I've learned a few things along the way. In this video, I'm sharing over 25 of my favorite tips,
years
tricks,
plus
and
of
pro-level
experience.
hacks
My
that I
fault.
use to make crocheting fun and ensure that my projects are picture perfect.
And I have to pause. So that her projects are picture perfect. What does picture perfect mean? I know, tips and tricks, every video, everything is personal preference. I personally would never say that anything that I do is picture perfect. I can try to achieve picture perfect, but I would never say it in a video, no. Even not with 25 years plus. And we go on.
I'm super excited to partner with my friends at We Crochet for this video. We Crochet
Okay, we
provided
make a
most of the
little bit
yarn
of
and tools used in this
advertising
video,
before the
all of which
crochet
are linked
hacks.
in
I
the
see,
description
I
below.
see.
And you'll also find links to several crochet patterns I've created in collaboration
And
with
a
We Crochet.
collab, of
Finally,
course.
stay tuned to the very end for a special announcement.
And a special
now, let's
announcement.
get to those tips.
Tip number 1. Storing tapestry needles.
If you like to use metal tapestry needles like me, here's a great way to store them. Metal tapestry needles are magnetic, so grab a magnet from your local craft store and keep tapestry.
Okay, as we can see, I pause here. She is storing her tapestry needles with a magnet. Because you have laying this around, right, at home. So you have to go to Home Depot before to get a magnet, or maybe you hopefully have children who have a magnet by accident. And then you can store your tapestry needles. What am I doing with the tapestry needles which are plastic? I don't know.
Needles in their
It's a great tip. And now she's storing her stuff that she needs at her place, of course in a sponsoring bag that she is promoting herself for crochet hacks. This is not a hack, this is an advert. But we go on. Nick.
The crochet hook for my current project.
Yes, I think we all have a bag where you put our stuff in.
Stitch markers, as well as tapestry needles. If you don't have the exact yarn you need in your stash for a project, consider doubling lighter yarns to get the gauge that you need. 2 strands of lace equals fingering. 2 strands of
okay, this is not a bad tip because you have this system in America where you can combine different gauges of skeins. This is good.
When it's time to weave in your ends, don't get frustrated.
We cannot do it here in Europe.
For this tip, let's make a slip knot
the easy way. And we make a pause. The slip knot the easy way. There are around 500 ways how you can make a slip knot, and this is the easy way. There is no easy way, there's a favorite way. But we go on.
Twice around your first finger. Bring the second loop over the first.
Yes, this is
over and off your finger.
This is a method.
And lift with your
but
finger.
This is not the easiest method.
And now it's time
I want
crochet.
Tips and tricks. I don't. Tip number 7. Tip number 9.
I'm sure you've seen plenty of gorgeous yarn bowls floating around, but if you're in a pinch, you can make your own. Grab a binder clip and secure it to the side of a heavy bowl, just like this.
What is she doing?
Then grab the outside edge of your yarn and thread it through the loops of the binder clip.
She's threading through a binder clip.
And now you're ready to start crocheting.
Yes. Make a pause here at tip number 10. And what are you doing when the ball is too small? You get a heavier ball and a bigger ball until you have a ball of this size, maybe for a really, really huge yarn. And I think this is... you know, this reminds me a little bit of Troom Troom. Sometimes they cannot come up with enough tips, so they're constructing a tip to make this exciting and to tell you something new, what we already know or what we are doing in a different way. So this is not wrong what she is doing, but it's incredibly complicated. Let's go on, tip number 10.
Every now and then you'll see a pattern that starts with a long chain and then it tells you to join to work in the round without twisting the chain. It's basically impossible, but I found an easy way to do it.
Okay, so we had that one tip before where she is showing us the easy way for a slip knot, and now she's doing a slip knot in a different way. And as you could clearly see on her hands, this is the way she prefers. So the other way, the easy way, what was nothing new and exactly something that she is not doing. Because as you could clearly see here, she make this with talking, and in one whoop was her slip knot ready to go, and the other one was a little bit more fingering work. So this method she will never do. She's doing this version here. I don't try to shit on this person. I truly don't. But these crochet hacks for beginners from a pro with 25 years plus experience, put together tips and tricks that are not on YouTube, or leave it. Don't do it. Simply.
And then once you have a few on there, drop your hook.
Okay, we know
insert
this
it
trick.
through the front of the first chain, and then back into the working loop. Continue making chains until you have enough for your
This
project.
is funny, this is a nice trick. This is really a nice trick, but nobody is telling you where you should pull your needle. Through which hole, at the top or at the bottom.
In the round. Now you can start working and there won't be any twists in sight. Hey friends, Tony here, and I have many more crochet tips to come.
Don't tell me she's now doing an ad between the tips and tricks.
Now, let's get back to it.
Jesus, she made an ad.
If you want to just skip the business of joining a chain in the round at all, try a foundation row. Simply make your row, then bring the beginning of the row around to meet the current stitch and start crocheting. It's seriously as easy as that.
Yes, this is also right, but why is she not showing how she's connecting the foundation row at the bottom?
There are a lot of recommendations out there on how to prevent holes at the beginning of your crochet.
Oh yes, I do this too. This is great. This is a great tip, and it really works.
Have holes, but you can see that these top rows do not.
You will not have only no holes at the end of the rows. It's also easier to crochet maybe two parts for a bigger project together, because you don't have to look for, oh my god, through which hole should I sew now? Because you have just one stitch on the side where you have to go to. This is a good tip. I do this all the time. I really try with every project to make this chain one, turn around, and then a single crochet or double crochet, whatever is needed.
Of the last stitch and leave the chain untouched. And that's how I make sure the beginnings and ends of my rows don't have any holes.
More people should do that, but just my opinion.
This tip is really great if you need to do shaping when you're working in the round, like if you're making crochet toys.
Or amigurumis.
Now, when you normally do a single crochet decrease, you pull up a loop in each of the next two stitches, yarn over and pull through all three. But if we work a couple more stitches, you'll notice that our decrease is very obvious.
And you can feel it also when you press your fingers together. It's like there's a big knot.
Decrease. Now to do that, you're going to insert your hook in just the front loop of each of the next
This is
stitches.
also very good.
So here's one in the front loop, and go directly to the second, and then we'll yarn over and pull through those two loops, yarn over, pull through the last two loops. And if we put a couple of stitches after that, you'll notice that this decrease looks exactly like a normal single crochet.
You can also look
stitch,
this up on YouTube with invisible decreases.
Now, I heard somewhere that stitch markers are like the hair ties of the crochet world. They're just
you can never have enough hair ties.
But I bet you have some other items.
You can never have enough stitch markers. Jesus.
A bobby pin works. Just open it up, insert it into the stitch, and that's definitely going nowhere. You can also use a paper clip. Just be extra careful when you're inserting this into delicate stitches because it can split the yarn.
Then don't take it. The other tip is much better, to use a hair clip.
Also just use a scrap piece of yarn. Cut it to a length that works. Insert your hook into the stitch.
Too much work. Too much work. Good tip. Yes, when you really have nothing at home and just yarn, great. Then yes, otherwise never. Too much work.
And then when you're ready to crochet again, you can pull it right out.
Yeah, that's the problem. You cannot pull it right out.
If you're starting a really big project like a sweater or maybe even a blanket, you might have to begin with a long row of chains. Getting the count right on this amount of chains can be tedious, but stitch markers can help. Place markers on your chain at even intervals, maybe at every
I like this a lot.
Chain. Then when you count your chain, you can count the markers instead of the individual chains. These split ring markers from We Crochet are my favorites for doing this because
Yes,
they
product
slip into stitches
placement.
so easily, and you can easily slip them right back out when you're
This
ready to
method
start
works, of
crocheting.
course, with every stitch marker, but the idea behind it
This
is
next
great.
hack is especially useful if you're storing your project for a while and don't want little hands ripping out your work. Lift your loop up nice and high, and you could leave it like this, but let's secure it with a stitch marker.
Yes.
Tighten down that loop, and no matter how hard they tug, that stitch is going
That's
nowhere.
right, girl. Great tip. I love that.
I've heard 1,000 stories about new crocheters who get weird shapes in their work because they're missing or adding stitches to the beginning or the ends of rows. Here's an easy way to keep stitch counts consistent, row by row. When you reach the end of your row, complete that row, chain 1, turn your work, make your first stitch in that marked stitch, and move your stitch marker up to the stitch you just completed. Now you've marked the beginning of your row, it can work across to the end of your row again. Once you reach the end of this row, do it all over again. Work that last stitch, work the first stitch of the next row, place your marker.
Okay, this is a great tip when you are new to the... I paused this video here at tip 18. This is a great idea when you really truly working for the first time with this method, that you just chain 1 at the end and turn your work, and working the single crochet, double crochet, whatever, in the same stitch, so that you can find at the end of the row where this chain 1 is. When you're working always with this method, then you find the chain 1 immediately. But if it's new for you, please put a stitch marker in. It's always better put 1 more in than 1 less.
This hack shows the easiest and most seamless way to change color while working in crochet.
Color changing.
Simply work your stitch
all?
until you get to the last step. For a double crochet, that's when you have 2 loops left on your hook. Drop the old color, grab the new color, making sure you leave a nice long tail.
Okay, there are also
Yarn
different
over
methods,
and
of
pull
course,
through
on
those
YouTube,
last
but
2
this is
loops
not
with your new
wrong.
color. Now you can continue working with the new color.
Tip 20. Granny square. Join as you go. We all know this. This is nothing new. There are hundreds of videos out there.
So here I'm going to show you how to join as you
Except
go.
she has an exceptional idea, which I doubt.
When joining granny squares as we go, we want to pay special attention to the chain spaces in the corners and between our sets of 3 double crochets. Now I'm going to join this end of this unworked granny square with this end of this finished granny square.
Makes sense.
So I'm going to continue working to my corner, place my 3 double crochets, and each of my corners has 2 chains. So I'll complete the first chain, and the next chain is where I'll join. I'll simply place a slip stitch in the corner chain 2 space of the completed granny square, and that takes the place of the second chain.
This method is fair.
Granny square. I'll put 3 more double crochets.
There are a lot of more
space.
different ways how you can join motifs, or in this case a granny square, as you go. But this method is okay.
Instead of working
not my favorite.
Chain, I'm going to slip stitch into the next chain space on my completed granny square. So that takes the place of the chain that's between my 3 double crochet groups. Place a 3 double crochet group into the next chain space on.
Of course, always depends on, especially in the granny square, how many chains you have between each little block.
3 double crochet group into the corner. And remember that there's a chain 2 space between 3 double crochet groups in the corner.
Jesus
so I'll
Christ,
make
how
one of
long
my
is
chains,
this video?
and then join with a slip stitch into the corner of the finished motif. And place 3 more double crochets into the corner of the granny square.
I would like if she had made this in a different video, on probably because she has 25 years plus experience, how you are joining beautiful motifs in general.
When finishing up motifs that were worked in the round,
because I think it takes too much time. I want a little bit more quick information.
Now that's fine, but it does. When working motifs with different colored rounds, an easy way to add a new color is with a standing stitch. Here's how to do it. Typically in a pattern, when adding new colors for a round, you'll insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over with the new color, pull through, and do a series of chains. And again, that's fine, but that does not look like a double crochet. Instead, do a standing stitch by placing a slip knot on your hook. Tighten it down, and for a double crochet, we'll start by yarning over. Hold that loop nice and tight. Insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull up the loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You can now continue with your stitch pattern as normal, and that very first stitch looks exactly like a double crochet. I have had the unfortunate experience of my ends coming unwoven out of my project. I switched up how I weave in my ends, and now I'm going to show you how to do it securely. First, I'm going to find 5 stitches to weave my end under, and I'm going to work my tapestry needle under both legs of those stitches, of all 5 of those stitches.
I hope she's moving them back.
And I'm going to pull my yarn through.
And it's not putting tension on the yarn.
Then I like to stretch the fabric a little bit to make sure that end isn't too tight. And instead of zigzagging through my project, I'm going to skip the first leg and go to the second leg of that last stitch and weave it back through the same way that I came.
Through the first leg on the next stitch.
This way the end is secure and it'll never come out.
There's no difference.
Now that I run TL Yarn Crafts full time, I wear a lot of hats and I need to get a lot done in just one day.
Oh no, don't give me the 25 minutes, 5 minutes break.
Simply set enough.
Forget it.
This type of disciplined schedule helps you get more done in
Okay,
less
she was
time
running out of
with less
ideas
distraction.
clearly here. No.
Thanks so much for watching this video. You are the real MVP and I can't wait to see your crochet.
Yes, and there are hundreds and
to
hundreds
celebrate
and
reaching
hundreds of different
subscribers
books.
on my channel, We Crochet and I are giving away a beginner crochet prize pack. One winner will receive all of the prizes you see
and we have
here,
a giveaway.
plus
Thank you very
5
much and goodbye. Okay, when I want to see 25 tips, I want to see 25 tips. And it doesn't matter if I know them or I don't know them, but please don't take 20 minutes of time. Maybe I will, in the future, maybe I will do a video with tips and tricks, and you can clearly click on it because it will not take 20 minutes. A tip is a tip. It was 25 plus tricks, 20, what was it? 25 plus crochet hacks for beginners, pro tips from a crocheter with 20 years experience. Well, we have watched it together. Maybe everybody has learned something. One or the other tip is fair, and most tips we already heard before in a lot of other tips and tricks videos. So I hope you enjoyed this information round. I was very happy that I don't have to talk all the time, so that someone else was doing the job for me. And hope you enjoyed this episode of a reaction. I never will do this again. Not with tips and tricks. It's simply not worth it because we know them. Enjoy the day, because otherwise I will destroy the cords here, and I cannot do this because these are the cords of Mr. Cameraman. And I'm a little bit itchy on the inside because of the cringe of this video and that I have made a reaction video. Whatever, it is what it is. See you next time, guys. Bye.